What is up? What is up? It's your boy Woods, man. Thank y'all for tuning in for Destined for Greatness podcast. I got another hot one for y'all today, man. I have a very special guest today, man. A brother, man, I knew from back in the day, but I watched his career grow. And it's steadily growing, and I don't think it's gonna stop growing anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? So, with today's show, I definitely want to give thanks to everybody that's been tuning in to this point. Everybody that will continue to tune in. I have great subject matters, great stories, great testimonies. You know what? All I'm trying to do is take my city, you know what I'm saying, and others that I know around me, and good stories, and just put them in the forefront. That's all I'm trying to do, and that's what I'm trying to do with this good brother right here, man. We were just talking backstage. He has many projects going on. He has projects that's starting soon as now. He said is dropping. So without any further ado, man, let me bring on my good brother, Mr. Michael H. Royale. What is going on, sir?
Hey, man, loving it, man. Living life, doing it real big, man. I appreciate you having me on the show, Devin Woods. Shout out to you for what you're doing. I love the energy and how you presenting and representing everybody, man. So
I
I appreciate
appreciate it.
you giving us the platform to go ahead and speak on it and testify to what we're doing and, if possible, motivate people.
Hey, man, I got to give you this intro, man. I'm going to let you know right now. This guy right here, director, writer, producer, editor. You have to understand that this man is an author, self-independent, entrepreneur, man. That's what this man you're looking at right now, and that's why I had him on the show. Usually I say while you in the background, I wanted to look at you and tell you right now, man, you killing it for the city in multiple ways because you're going back home and you lifting people up, man. That's what I'm proud of, is how you're going back and you're reaching up. You know what I'm saying? You say, I ain't going to just eat by myself. We all about to eat. So let's go into this. No one can introduce themselves better than themselves. So please introduce yourself to those that do not know you, sir.
Okay, if you don't know me, my name is Michael H. Royal. My predominant lane is directing. I write, produce, edit, cast, and put together films, not only here in Los Angeles, but in Lansing, Michigan, my hometown. I do an array of different things, but the second umbrella would most likely be the art path that I do. I'm a creative, and so I leave the channel open to create on any avenue, on any level. I'll get into what that really means for me a little later in the podcast, because it's an umbrella of multiple things. And I think once you begin to focus and master on one of your lanes, then you can kind of umbrella out. But I've been doing a lot of film work in Los Angeles for about 15 years now.
Wow.
I've finally fully independent with our production company, Michael H. Royal Films, and now we're producing films. Right now we're on our fifth film. We just wrapped on one in Lansing. My focus is in my hometown. I like to create there because it's a lot of great energy.
A lot of talent. A lot of talent.
Yeah, the talent is crazy. Seeing the talent in LA firsthand, knowing that everybody in my hometown could beat everybody that I saw in LA, I had to bring it back. When I brought it back, it kind of worked out for me, and it was a different kind of energy that I applied with what I was doing that kind of made it work out for everyone. So that, like you said, making sure that everybody gets a chance to eat and you get an opportunity is the gas that runs the artwork that I put out, and I like that has to go hand in hand, and that's the most important thing for me. Yeah. So
that goes right into this first question.
Okay, go ahead.
So why and when did you leave your hometown to pursue some of these things out in Los Angeles? Because you're right there. You said you've been gone for 15 years. So my question is, why did you leave home at that time, and when did you do this?
It was right after I graduated from high school. I went to Everett High School. For those that didn't know, most people know me. They know that's where we do our thing at. But most of my friends, we belong to a team was called Central, and most of them went off to
no, I'm called Deuce.
Go
ahead. Go ahead.
You already know.
All right, know deuces.
they went on their college mission. There was a lot of great motivation in the school. Miss Marcella, different people that had a lot of people in different directions. But me and my twin, we're originally from California, and so we came in like elementary, and then kind of grew up with everybody, and it became our hometown. But we were itching. Just as soon as we graduated, we got back to LA and we hit straight to Hollywood. Went straight to the
Wow.
fire and just
Ambitions.
start figuring it out. We hit the ground running and really just start figuring it out. And we had a bunch of bumps. We came back and forth countless amount of time. Then that just became routine. I come back like 10, 15 times a year. Because all my family's there, and then my work circle is there. So it worked out for me. But yeah, it happened straight out of high school, and I just jumped in, and it was like I knew what I wanted to do a long time ago. So I knew that's where I needed to be. And just as soon as I graduated, we moved there.
Facts. All right, man. So when you got out there and you said you hit Hollywood running, you hit the ground running, you said, right? So what are
Yeah.
some of the endeavors you got into? So how did you get started? Who are some of the people you met? How did it get going for you in film?
Okay. Well, we went the traditional route. We did the headshots and, did the central casting, backstage, extra work just to get on set. For most people, it was just a small check and a chance to see celebrities. For me, I was just like studying the director, studying the PA, studying what everybody did, the light crew, the camera crew, just seeing the time and the cadence they took to lay out a piece. And I knew this is exactly what I wanted to do. And I wanted to do it on that level. Haven't got to that multi-million dollar budget level, but I was able to micromanage it, shrink it down, and study the format and apply to what I did. But we did that first, and it didn't pay but like $89 for a day on set. We got a little break when we met Nick Cannon's dad, and he
Wow.
invited us
Okay.
on to the first episode of Wildin' Out. We were on that one, and just to meet Nick Cannon, and I never forget what he told me because it didn't go. We didn't move forward with what he told us. Exactly what he told us was
So
you
what
need to write.
advice did Nick Cannon give to you, Michael Roy? What did
He
Nick tell you
told
that you
me
needed?
to he told me to come to the writing team. You need to write. Writing is what you
Wow.
need to do. And you're gonna hear
Okay.
that echo through the podcast that you gotta put it in writing. And no matter how talented you are, you gotta put it down. And so he told us
Facts.
come to the writing circle, be a part of this team. It was so bumpy in LA, we left, and when we came back, we lost touch, and Wild 'N Out took off. And so
Wow.
sorry, somebody's peeping through, but that was one of the first prominent people I think him and his father that I met that let me know that I could get somewhere and I could be on the right path with just the right energy. But we went through that process, going back and forth. LA is of course wild, and they make it seem like the biggest mountain ever when you first get here, and you kind of shrink yourself down to try to fit in where you can in this whole film industry. Now, retrospectively looking back, you could have always just came in the position that you wanted to be in, and not to be either begging someone for help or to be in someone's work or to be a part of something. You would be the creator. You always the creator. You just didn't take on that role, and I didn't take
Yeah.
on that role when I first came here. So it was a lot of wheel spinning in the mud, but a lot of learning. I love failure, and it was just a lot of learning and going in different directions. My twin started to see success with the high end commercials that he was doing with Apple and iPhone and various different brands. But for me, I wanted to be the whole show, and every time I stepped out to try it, it was so much red tape because Hollywood again stacks it up like a mountain. Kind of, it's intimidating, and it's so many doors that you just can't get in to kind of get the art that you want to get out at the time. So
Yes.
when we spent a little time working on projects here and there, but never nothing substantial until I did my first film with Omar Gooden and Caffeine from Menace to Society.
Wow. So speaking of that, what is the name of that film?
That film is called Seventh and Westlake Nino's Revenge.
All right.
Um,
All right.
yeah, it came about in a different kind of way. I moved to Atlanta for a small period of time. Where you at? And I wanted to just change gears for a while. And
Mm-hmm.
the people around me wouldn't let me. The people I knew, they were just looking for something. They wouldn't let me get off this path at all. And so
Wow.
I settled
But
myself.
what I mean, so that's a good talking point. So you're saying some of the people that the path that you were on, you were trying to go one way and they were trying to misdirect you, and you had to keep that focus. Is what you're saying?
No, actually, I was trying to get off my main path myself
Oh, okay.
because of
Okay.
frustration. And people around me would not allow me to do that, no matter
Oh, they're
if they didn't
motivating you.
see the kind of success that I wanted to see at the time. It didn't matter if they saw it or not. They said, "This is what you do. Stay with what you do." And I
Wow.
remember that stuck home for me when that set in for me. I realized that at some point in people's lives they realize who they are, and it really dawns on them because people around you kind of reflect that back to you. And when you get that reflected back to you, it kind of gives you a different kind of ego boost to go out and pursue the talent that you believe you've been blessed with. But that happened, and a light came on, and I went from doing music videos to doing a big time film with celebrities that I completely funded, wrote, casted, directed, the whole nine. A lot of hats that I didn't wear before that time, I just put them on and jumped. And
Wow. So speaking of that,
go ahead.
no, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it broke the ice for me and what it is that I personally pursue to do in life. It broke that for me. I jumped. I was directing people that have been in $1 million movies that have done well, and had the skill to get through it and deliver my art and control the way the art was delivered the whole time. So when I did that for myself, it freed me to be able to conquer any goal that I had in the film world. And that's when I was
Beautiful.
ready to come back to Lansing and really, put things together. And that's kind of what we did from that energy.
And I definitely want to go into the clip of that. So if you could, without further ado, could you please introduce the movie that you said that you first began with some of the celebrity people that you worked with? Can you please introduce them in this film so I can go into the short clip for you?
Absolutely. The clip you're about to watch is a trailer from my feature film, Seventh of Westlake, Nino's Revenge, starring Omar Gooden and Caffeine Casano. The movie is incredible, and it's about a secret
Yes, it
drug that gets
is.
pushed into a city and makes
Okay.
people kill themselves off drinking lean. So we made this film to move people away from doing experimental drugs. We feel like the young community is vulnerable to a chemical attack like this because they do everything. They pop mollies, they do all kind of things, and no
Yeah.
telling what could be placed inside of those. We watched our last generation be chemically attacked by crack, and we pretend like that wasn't an attack. But this time, I wanted to make a piece that could possibly warn these young people to be careful what you're ingesting because you're leaving yourself very vulnerable to something like that. So, without further ado, check out the clip. Hope you guys like it.
All right.
Listen here, you fucking freak! I will have your head cut off!
Hi, baby. Food's almost ready, okay?
First off, it's not dope money. Tell me what that is.
Shit, look like some Molly to me.
That's what I thought. Look, if that's Molly, my nigga, these motherfuckers just offered me $1 million for it. So it can't be no Molly.
$1 million for this?
I'm looking into that pill you brought in. Just check it out. A lot of medical properties. They're all over the place.
I take full responsibility, but I still need you to tell me who is responsible for delivering the drug.
All right. All right.
All right.
That's fire,
So
man. That right
I'm
there
trying to
look
tell
good.
you.
I ain't gonna hold you up.
That looked good. Yeah. No, it was an
Yeah.
incredible piece we did. It was challenging getting the older cast members to kind of go along with being these sinister white people that were making this pill because they really weren't. They were good-hearted actors. They were really challenged with delivering. But I like to punch in your gut with my films. You got to I like to sit you down. So if you're not gonna get on that roller coaster, then I don't like to make it. So it is extreme. It's very edgy. The
Yeah.
cast probably was about 60 to 80 people. This is my first piece, just juggling it, running around the city trying to get it
For
together.
a first piece, man, that looks well put together, man.
Thank you
Congrats on
very
that
much.
film
Thank
right
you
there.
very much. I appreciate it. Y'all, that it's actually gonna be streaming in February everywhere. Just Google Neil's Revenge and you'll be able to watch it for free.
Hey, man, I heard you saying something earlier about how you had a twin or whatnot, man. So tell her, what's your relationship with your family, man? Your twin, what's that like?
Oh man, it could be better. I mean, I've got no, that's my twin, but I also have three other brothers and a sister, and we work together on all our projects. It was kind of like the Wayne's family type of situation, but a little bit more diverse and dynamic what we're doing. Because we haven't got to the comedy yet, but we will get to the comedy. But my twin, man, you know, hey,
let's go. Say what?
what's up, man? What you doing?
What's up, man?
Devin Wood, boy.
What up?
Yes, sir, man. It's destined for greatness out here, man.
That's what I'm talking about, boy. Hey, your boy,
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
what's for you on here, man?
Hey, I want to say thank you for having me on the podcast, D Woods. Hey, what's up, Mike, man? You can't be doing
What's up, man? Yeah.
Without me.
I mean, you know, I thought, you know, we both destined to greatness, but I just feel a little greater sometimes, you know, but we must be great together.
That's that twin talk.
Hey, you know what it is, though. Hey, shout out to the movies. You know what I'm saying? We got everything dropping on the platforms. I want everybody to make sure you tap in with that, because that right there is going to actually move this movement when everybody starts paying attention and getting the ball rolling. Right now, we sparking right now. We sparking.
Yes, you are. I just wanted to drop him in, man. Surprise you, man. Let him know, man. He was supporting you all the way, man. So when I said I was doing this, man, I was like, yo, don't say nothing, man. I know that's your brother and everything. Don't say nothing. And he surprised you, man. That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, that was a cool little surprise, man. Yeah, I popped him in the corner. I was like, yo, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm live from the Bentley right now, you know what I'm saying, with the baby seats in the back, just because the kids are loud as hell. But I do got a lot of backstories about your boy Michael Roy, you know what I'm saying, coming up to this level of greatness that he's reaching right now.
Hey, just give us one story before I take you out, man. Give me one story about your brother, man. Just one.
Oh, man. So him being a director, when he gets on set, he's not the same person. So I actually had to turn to the enforcer a couple of times because, you know, some of these sets that we were shooting in, it was around the city. And like I said, LA's wild. So you got a lot of risky people out there. And I had to come through and shut some stuff down because, you know, they was talking that ishness. And I was like, look, man, I'm not even in this movie, but I'm here and I'll bust your head if you get that crazy around my twin. But I did help set some of these sets straight, you know what I mean? And we got a lot of work done by me coming through and doing my little job. I'm actually in that 7th and Westlake too. Appreciate it. That's one of my biggest movies that I've been in with my twin so far. But me hitting the apple in different commercials made him think that he was famous. So when we was walking through the mall and everything, and people was like, hey, I think I saw you. He's like, no, you saw me. And if you ain't seen me, here's my movie. Here's my movie.
You too, bro. Yeah, I remember I saw that commercial. I was at the mall, bro, and you know, they got the screens at the Beverly Center. I was at the mall and I just seen my twin on the screen. I was like, yo, this is crazy, bro. Like,
I was sitting in the living room. I'm sitting at the crib. I'm like, I'm glad I had a rewind. I'm like, yep, that's him. Period. That's what's up. You have any, before I get you out, do you have any projects that you would like to tell everybody about, man, how to get a hold of you?
Okay, cool. Before you bounce right now, I just did another Apple commercials for the new Beats headphones. Y'all be on the lookout for that because it's coming out soon because I got my check. So that means they ready to air that joint.
Yes, sir.
And basically, I'm on list with my brother. All his projects, I'm a part of it. You know, it's a family thing. We keep it all in the Royals right now, and we good. I got a couple of side pieces right now, a couple of different directors. Jonathan Ranch, shout out to him. We're doing a sci-fi together. And The Horrors of Barn Folly. If y'all ain't seen that, that's one of the first films I've been into. Y'all check it out. I'm gonna get back to my kids. Once again, appreciate you, D Woods. Michael, all right, man. Down. You know, thank you for stopping through, man. It's my twin,
yeah. Peace. Yeah, that. All right.
All right, man.
That was wild. Wow.
Yeah, man, trying to take it to the next level with everything, man. I'm so glad that you're part of it, but I want you to speak more upon that film, man.
Okay, and so anyway, just to wrap on that, we're releasing very shortly. But it was the film that gave me, you know, the gas to do what I need to do. It taught me a lot about, you know, how to structure. The gentleman Caffeine from Minister Society, you know, what's up, partner? He helped me develop a stronger director ability. He just jumped right in. He worked with a lot of great directors, and he saw something in me. His wife is a cast agent, and she's the one that got me Omar Good and a few other people for some projects we have coming up in the future. But she was a great help on the project as well. And that one is coming out next month or in February, so just look out for that one. And now we're just rocking and rolling. We got a few things in the oven right now. It pushed me to Lansing. I knew everyone in Lansing is watching. They keep track of everything we do. You know, when you start to come back and reciprocate for the city, people just pay attention a little bit more because they know that there's opportunities there and they love to support. And they've been watching us do this, you know, since high school. So to be able to to watch someone's career, get to this certain point and be a part of it is a blessing. So we came back to Lansing. The first time I came back, it was for a film we wanted to do called High School Fly. And it
Oh
was just a
yeah, I
complete,
remember hearing about
yeah.
that. You had a fire. You did heavy promotion on that. What happened with
I
that film?
did, and I learned a lot from that too. But we did a lot of promotion, and it was just supposed to be like a grease lightning, but done like urban, hip, and black, and it was all about the fashion because in high school it was
Oh
extreme. I
yeah,
haven't
it
been
was
back
all
for so
about
long.
it's all about being geared for sure.
That was it. That was it, and it was nothing else to it but that. That was number one
Yeah.
with any high school. But I think Everett we led the way with that. But but I wanted to make that film and give you that feel. But there was some red tape involved with getting the high school, and they wouldn't let me get Everett at the time. And then they came back with this ridiculous amount that they wanted to rent it, and then they would only let us get the stadium, the outdoor football
Wow.
stadium. So we ended up not doing the piece, and it could have been discouraging for me. It kind of took the wind out of me because not only did I not release the movie I did with Omar Gooden, but I put the city on notice for this piece I wanted to do, and we weren't able to do it. So I felt like I let down the city in that regards because people came out
Okay.
for auditions. We really did it all the way. That was the lesson I wanted to tell you. Sometimes you don't have to do all that. All of that is you basically thinking you're watching someone else model how they did it, and you kind of run that model. And if it doesn't work for you, then you need to trim the fat and do it immediately, or you waste time. So with all that casting and promotion and all that pre-work we did with the piece, it was unnecessary. Everyone in the city was already in tune with it, and then in the end, we actually didn't end up putting out the piece. But that made me condense my thoughts, and I said, what, let me put together something that's going to be a budget that I can handle, and in locations that I can handle. And so we put together the film Baby in the Hood. We wrote the script, me, my sister, and my brother. And then I came back to Lansing, and we said, we didn't need to do any casting like that. We just kind of went with people we knew, and we just knocked it down, and it turned out to be a classic, man. It was a
A
really
classic,
incredible
man.
experience.
That movie. So tell people about that movie, man. How can they watch it? Tell them about who some of the people and some of the characters are.
Okay. Now, Baby in the Hood. Everyone in this film, I think, outside of Ward Skills, has
Ward
never acted
Skills. Shout
before.
out Ward.
Ward, you can't you make everybody podcast. For some reason,
Yes, sir.
he's vertically connected to everyone's
All of
success.
them.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
It's
he
interesting,
is.
isn't it? But now, outside of him, because he flew himself out to LA to be in Seventh and Westlake. He was the only one from Lansing that came out to be in the film that I did with Celebrities. His support goes a long way.
Yeah,
That's
he
why his
definitely
name
has a
always shows up
resume.
because yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, man, I go the extra mile to do what I need to do, and it shows, and that's why he shows up in a lot of different things. But outside of him, everyone had never acted before. We put a casting call out for the lead female, Brittany Little. I believe she just had a baby, beautiful young daughter. Was incredible. It led her. I casted a female that never acted, and we had known each other personally. And it was starring her, and she jumped on it and said, "Hey, I wanted to do it." And I was like, I trust your ability. The way she was talking, she's like, I got this energy. I can definitely do it for you. We brought her on, and then I just went down a list of people that I knew that had energy, that their personalities were already characters. And they didn't need to act, and so I brought
Yeah,
them
just be
in.
yourself.
Yeah, just be yourself. We started it was a 5-day shoot. 2 days into the shoot, we kind of had a little hiccup with the camera people that we had. I won't mention any names, but that kind of went sour. So ended up buying the footage that I had shot from them, paying that out of pocket, and then we just moved on and we kept pushing forward. We shot the last 3 days with 5 different camera people, all at the
Wow.
same time. I appreciate everybody that came out. They're all listening to IMDb. The names just miss my mind right now, but we pulled it off. Baby Sosa, he helped a lot with with the casting, some
That's
of the
my
bigger
brother
scenes
right
that we
there.
needed.
Shout out Sos for sure.
Shout out
He's doing his thing right
showed
now.
up.
Have you seen? Let me give a shout out to Sos. Have you seen what he just did right now with the Churchill Vision?
Yeah, of
He
course.
got yeah,
We worked
man.
together.
Hey
Yeah,
man, shout out to him to keep
yeah.
going, man. You're there, so I
the,
got to
the
give it to
energy
him.
the energy is matched. So he wasn't traditionally casting the film at all, and but he kept winning what I was doing, and I was in town, and when he came over to see what we were doing, stuck like glue, never moved. From that day
Yeah,
on, he was a part of the piece and a part of all my pieces moving forward. When he puts his head around something, it really gets done, and I noticed that quality in him. So I was like, you know what, you're definitely someone that can work with me because he knows I move like a bull. when I get to going, because I'm coming from LA, so I got so many responsibilities here. I just had my beautiful baby daughter time. She's 6 months now, so we had her during
Congratulations.
the COVID-19 thing and all that crap.
That
Thank
had to
you
be
very
kind of
much. She
scary.
is
You know what I'm
beautiful.
saying?
She is
Ooh.
beautiful. But my time is so tight, and I don't like to come off like this bougie LA, energy. But my time is so tight that I have to kind of push everybody to their max, and they don't mind doing it because they know that I'm pushing myself to my max. And when I'm done with them, they know that I'm on to someone else. When we move to another location to shoot, I got to call 15 people just in us moving to that location every single time. So I think everybody in the cast kind of appreciated the fact that I'm going 1,000 right now, and so I expect at least 100 from it, and I got it every single time, like every single time from everybody. They delivered incredibly. They even had to bring their babies in the car, and be on set just to get it done.
A lot of people were excited about that project. A lot of people believed in you, man. Like when you said "Let's go," man. I know a lot of
Yeah,
people that I personally knew were really excited to be a part of your project.
yeah, and that's the first time I knew I had a gift of getting people together to do things, but that was the first time I really felt that energy coming from Lansing. That was and
Yeah, like shout out
for
to Illspeak,
people,
man. Like shout out to
yeah,
Illspeak, man.
yeah.
He's the one reason why he connected and told me that you did films way back in the day. He always bragged on you, man, and said
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
were
yeah.
going
Oh
to do
man,
this and that you was going to make it, man.
every time I came back in town, I'll go straight to Ill Speaks and he'll show me the new cameras. I show him the new cameras I found out in LA. We would swap the information every single time. When we did Baby the Hood, he came out on set and helped with this. To be very honest, the way that came about when he resurfaced for Baby in the Hood was I knew that if I'm going to do a movie in the city, Ill's got to be a part of it. Like, there's no way that we've been working with each other for so long. There's no way that's not going to happen. So we had shot it without his input at first, and I brought the version to him, and he watched. I knew it was weak. It was more of the drama of it. It didn't have the more of the Lifetime feel. It didn't have the hood feel. It had the baby part, but it didn't have the hood part. And so I
Yeah.
came to Ill, and he watched it, and he's the only person that just cut me a new one. He was like, "Nah, man, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work."
Wow.
Start switching things around. He was like, "Man, put that here. Put this energy here. Put a few more of this here." And so I was like, I'm humble enough because I've been doing this a long time, and I know it takes a lot of people to make a great movie. And with any team, even though it might say Quentin Tarantino movie, you better believe there's people in that corner that was like, do that like that, put that over here. This is gonna be hotter. And so that's where he came in, and we partnered that way. He just basically just told me to fix a few things, and I did, and the movie became incredible. And I appreciate the contribution. And now we're moved on to our second film together that we're working on. We moved on to that, and of course, I kept the same energy on the back end of the film as far as the production team. Sos came on as the executive producer
That's what's
fully
up.
this time. And Ill Speaks, of course, is on as an executive producer for The Thought of Murder, the film that we just shot. And then I recycled every single actor that we used. I missed a few people, and that's a tough thing, but I cannot, afford to change the integrity of my art to just put people in. So
Yeah.
that doesn't work like that. It has to fit the script. Whatever the story is, then I look for that energy in those people. I'm not necessarily looking for your acting ability. I'm just looking for who you are, and then you just fit that role. Like, that's how I cast, and so it's not biased. That's why I make a lead character a person I don't know and has never acted. That should tell you that I'm not going with friendships. I'm not going with that kind of thing. I'm going with what I feel like fits the piece that's going to make my art look right and feel right and sound right. But we released Baby in the Hood, and it went crazy. We became #1 streaming on Tubi right away. It's the first
Wow.
film that I brought to the distribution. I got a distribution deal for the film, and it was the first film that they released for me. They're
So what are some of
releasing
the
Westlake as
platforms that's
well.
on? So
You
so
can
what kind
catch
of
it
platforms
on
are on?
Tubi. You can catch it on Tubi TV. You can catch it on Amazon Prime. You can catch it on Hulu. You can catch it on not
Wow,
Hulu,
man, you
but
everywhere, bro.
Hoopla. YouTube. Just basically Google Baby in the Hood, and it's gonna give you all the options right there. Whatever one is, the one you go with to watch your traditional films, you can watch it there.
All right. So speaking of that, man, introduce the film, man. I got a little clip I want to go into it. Let the people check it out.
Which one are we doing? The Baby in the Hood.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Again, thank you, Devin Woods, for having me on the show. You're about to watch the trailer to our film the first film that we released out of Lansing. It's called Baby in the Hood. Starred Brittany Little, Jeff Bridges, and Ward Skills. It's an interesting
More
piece
skills in the
about
building too. Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's an interesting piece about a young lady who completely neglects her obligations to her daughter and accidentally leaves the baby in a very bad situation. I don't want to give away too much, but it is a raw look at what could happen if you overlook the help that you have in front of you and your family, and do this young parent thing by yourself. So without further ado, check it out.
Yes, sir.
Nigga, what's up, nigga? What's up, nigga? What's up?
I ain't got time for this little girl.
Why are you acting fake?
Nigga, you just got into a fight with Kiana last week at the mall. You know she bringing my fucking baby.
Okay, that bitch had it coming.
Yo, what the fuck was y'all even fighting for?
She was looking at me crazy. I checked the bitch and then she started talking shit. Let my shit go.
Get the fuck out my shit. Hell no. You been fucking up my shit. Fuck it.
What happened?
That bitch pregnant.
First, we need to go get him. Second, he's your baby.
How the fuck you know he's my baby?
All that shit sound petty as fuck right now.
Man, you be the one fucking on these petty ass bitches.
All right.
Right.
Another film.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah,
Yes,
see,
sir,
yeah, we
man.
done,
That movie right there is so intense, man. I'm telling you,
Thank
man, there's so much dynamic for you to be an independent writer and all them be new actors. And shout out to everybody I know in there, man. Brickhead, I seen everybody up in that joint, man.
Yeah,
So
Brick. And we got
you did a great job casting, man.
Yeah, just a quick shout out for Brick. We got a separate piece coming just with Brick in it. Y'all look out for that. Yo, Brick is a character, bro. When you see this
Yeah,
guy,
that's my
man,
brother,
you
man. I
really
know
see him take off. You're gonna see him take, but that was the joy I got to see everybody I done sat down in middle school with, in high school with, and did hoop with them, ran and got in fights with, and all this other stuff. To see them in one piece that we bottled that we can watch 10 and 15 years from now, it's a good
and
feeling.
say we all did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And then to be able to climb that high and then come back down and you're still breathing, you're still regular, you're still a normal person, and that humbled me. It let me know that I can continue to do this thing. It's not that difficult. Sometimes I think everyone could do things, but whatever it is that you do, I think you should just do it the best, and put the best energy for whatever you do.
I agree.
But just to see them, all together like that, and I watch it all the time, man. To be able to sit back and watch something I made, all these things were levels that I wanted to markers I wanted to hit, and then the reception was incredible. I know people are going to tell me it's great, even if it wasn't, to keep me going. That's what the city does for you. They supposed to have your back. But really, honestly, there was a lot of good reception. I mean, everybody.
Because it was a good film, man. It was an actually good film. It wasn't like it was just something like when I seen it, I didn't expect that. That's why it went number one on Tubi. Say that one more time. What did it do?
Yeah, number one on Tubi.
Oh yeah, that's what I want you to say again. That's all. I just want you to say it one more again.
Yeah.
So are you on what other? So right now, I see that you're also on Apple TV.
Yeah, we're on Apple TV too. And it's about 14 or 15 different platforms. We're looking to get it to Amazon and Hulu. Once you hit those kind of VOD platforms, you get moved off the rest of them. So right now we're kind of just working the market, trying to build a fan base for the city. And my plan is to continue to come back to back with movies out of Lansing. They made me stand up a little taller as a director and gave me an opportunity to really, express how I want to do my art. And, and I'm giving them opportunity to be actors. And so I think, we do something for each other, and I'm grateful for it. That's one thing, so I'm really grateful that, I don't run into a lot of no's or red tape with this. Like, this is the first time I think the city has really got behind something and it's just all yes. It's a 100% green light with whatever you want to do. I've yet to experience that kind of energy.
It's kind of because how you conduct yourself. That's what it is. It's like anytime you see somebody handle themselves professionally, you see it as actually he's not just talking it, he's actually doing it. All right, you say I'm gonna shoot at this day. You're shooting at this day. You say, all right, at this day we're gonna be releasing it, and you're actually following through. People believe in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're doing. That's why I said you're focused. That's why I named the title of this. You're focused. and your determination right there, it rubs off on other people. When people want to be part of greatness. You know what I'm saying? So that's why that's why I named the show Destined for Greatness and have people like you on there, because we're going to look back at this and be like, man, look what we did then compared to where we are now. Because I see you doing nothing but going sky high, brother. And I'm so appreciative. Thank you for coming on my platform to tell your story, man.
No, thank you for having us. Thank you for having me on. I definitely appreciate it. And that energy works in my behalf. I know how to take the energy that the city gives me and harness it in another piece. And so we followed up with our second film. It was a year apart from the first one. A lot of people wanted Baby in the Hood 2. A lot of people screamed for Baby in the Hood 2. Brittany Little, the actual star of the film, she just was carrying a child at the time, so it was really difficult to try to navigate, around that film. To get, we might bring you it later, but it was really difficult to navigate it because she just had a baby. So we went with a whole different direction with a whole new project. It still is in the neighborhood of the genre that we capture, just to keep my core audience, fed basically. And they love what we do. So this one's called The Thought of Murder. This one is starring Sparkle. She was the second baby mama in Thought of Murder, the girl who threw the luggage out the door. It's her turn, and she came through and she did it. She came through and she rocked the police completely. Jay Chase, this is his debut acting. He led this piece. Again, I told you I go with with actors. I mean, non-traditional, because I love that natural feel. I'm very good at casting, so I know what I want in the piece. So if you got overlooked, you didn't really get overlooked. You just didn't fit this particular part. So I have to keep saying that.
It can't work again,
Yeah, and you will work again as long as you just, have respect for the creative process. It's all right to express yourself, but just make sure you don't put yourself on the wrong side of the boat, and then you don't get in later. Because that's why I thank you for having me on, because I can kind of put some words to that, universally, as opposed to individually talking to people and people calling me like, why did you put me in it? Why did you put me in it? And everybody wants to be in it. I mean, everybody, the whole entire city wants to be an East Piece. I can't facilitate that. But we are employing other directors to spring up now. We got 3 or 4 different people that are going to be putting out films as well. So pretty much, if you want
that way they need actors so that you can offer.
Yeah, exactly. So there's opportunities everywhere. Great. It's everywhere. We're just creating opportunities, because there's so many people. I mean, I actually didn't go with my brother on this Baby in the Hood piece. He could have flew out and did it, but I wanted to give Lansing a complete full run at it, and it worked out beautifully. But with The Thought of Murder, basically, to give you a quick rundown of what the film's about, she is the lead actress, an ex-stripper, and she's trying to get her life together, and she's dating a square law student who is played by Jay Chase. Jay Chase's best friend is their weed dealer, played by Jeff Bridges, and Jeff ends up sweet talking. Shout out to Jeff. Now that's the actor that showed up out of nowhere and knocked it out the park, boy. Jeff got it, and Jeff gonna always have it. I don't know when you about to have him on here, but have him on here for his acting work, because that's exactly what he does, and he found his lane. Definitely, I'm glad I could have introduced him, and hopefully he don't get too big and don't look back.
I gotta have him on here. So you listening, brother? You have the invitation right now.
Yeah. Make sure you don't get too big and get away from my work, man. You got to still work with me, brother. I gave you that first couple looks. Now anyway, he ends up macking down Jay Chase's girl, the ex-stripper, and they start having a relationship and basically an affair. And it's a thought of murder, so it's really, thoughty. It's really crazy. The takedown scenes are insane. They're really edgy. I put it all the way to the limit with this one, because it had to be salacious at first, and then it had to have this sense of guilt and anticipation in the end. But Jay Chase ends up catching them in the act, and hey, things hit the fan. I can't tell you too much more about the film outside of that.
I'm listening. I'm like, keep on going.
Yeah, but it is an incredible piece. It takes you on a twist. We wanted to show you that we can control, the unpredictable storyline. That what you're watching is not only going to lock you in, but you're not going to know what's happening next and who did what. That's what I want to achieve with this one. And we caught this in 5 days. It was we still have a few pickup shots to do, probably another 5 days, but it was a haul. I mean, we pushed night and day from 6 a.m. to all the way into the middle of the night. And shout out to everybody on that cast, because they know we kicked butt on that one, bro. We know we did not take no breaks, no pauses. we made sure we had a full piece. And I was glad I got to at least bring back 99% of the people that were in the last film, so that you guys can start
Wow.
recognizing that these people really want to do this. This is their craft. They really want to get in here and be serious about it. So I want to be serious about them because they're allowing me to do my work. And the best pay that I could ever give them is to keep them working and keep them expressing themselves and keep them on camera. So that's our goal. Now, this movie, we still have a few more shots to do. We'll release this one in February as well. I think the city's gonna go insane. The trailer releases on New Year, so y'all make sure I'm gonna do a little big up
Oh
to
man, I
before
got to
release.
check it out. I got to check that
Oh
trailer
yeah,
out
when
for
you see the
sure.
trailer, now I just want to tell y'all when people watch this cast before the trailer release, I had a dilemma. The movie is so racy and so crazy that I wanted to put some things in there, but some of the producers on the piece were like, I think we need to
Nah.
hold back on some of these
Okay.
scenes because this might take people's minds in a different direction where we don't want them to go just yet. It has to be a whole smorgasbord for them to understand, what's going on. So I
Okay.
kind of held back a little bit, but I held back a little bit on this trailer, but it's gonna be incredible. You guys are gonna love it, and make sure y'all share it and support it as you always do. And I wish I had it ready for you to air on the show. This you kind of asked me, right at this timing, but maybe we'll come back and we'll
It's
especially
actually yeah.
drop it off
Hey,
this one.
yeah. Actually, you drop it off, man. I can have you come back on, man. We can talk about it, man. We can all of that, man. I'm here for anybody that's trying to do something. That's what we're
Yeah,
trying to do. I'm trying to put this together so we can all take ourselves to the next level, man. Sometimes we just need a platform like this to tell it. I seen Elaine.
exactly.
You got to have a platform to tell it, man, because you're working right now, and
Yeah,
so you have a lot of films going on, man. But you
yeah.
also, through all of that time you were working on films, you took time to write a book.
Yeah. And again, thank you for allowing me to speak on the book as well. Because
So
this is
please tell
actually
us
the
the
first time
title
I
of your
got to
book.
speak.
Oh, the first time you
Access
got to speak about it. Oh, exclusive.
exclusive. Access the money your mind owes you. The reason why I titled it that way is because it it's supposed to focus you in on your mind. It sounds cliche, as everyone knows, thoughts are things, and you've heard this a million times. Uh, uh, and until you apply it, do you really believe it? But your mind owes you, and it wants to pay you. You take yourself to other people's jobs, other people's creations, other people's thoughts, and try to get a check from them. You actually go into someone else's building and getting a check from them in their mind. They knew their mind cuts checks, but you didn't. So you went into all these jobs, and it's not a problem to be a worker of sorts. But I think most people have aspirations to not work for people. I think that's fair to say
Right.
that most people want to be independent. And so it's no slight at having a great job because great jobs give satisfaction. I was a concierge at some of the highest paying high end condominiums and hotels all across America, and I enjoyed it every minute, and I loved doing it. And so it wasn't like some slave job or anything. I enjoyed it. I actually had a lot of fun. So there's enjoyment at work, but your mind can actually financially free you, and we know that. And a
Yes, it
lot of
can.
people read a lot of work to try to figure that out. I'm a big reader. I've read almost every book on this topic and on other topics. You'd be surprised that most successful people read a lot and they just don't talk about it. They do though.
Yep.
They do because they're trying to see how that thought process from another successful person played out a scenario. How did they go about turning around a failure? How did they stay focused? How did they stay determined? These things I search for when I'm reading these type of books. I dig deeper into in between the lines of these authors, and I try to gain an understanding. Are they just putting together this piece to try to generate some money? Or are they actually trying to express a thought to help people? And so I've digested everything from Think to Go Rich to every single thing you think of when I was in Atlanta, and I actually applied it. When I started writing it down, like they said, write everything in common was the right.
Yes,
Just like I
sir.
told you with the
Yes,
Nick
sir.
Cannon, it all went back
Yes.
in full circle. Every last one of these great people who've done great things, from whoever you want to look at, Jay Z, whoever, wrote and they write, and so I started to write down my goals, and I started to write down what I wanted to do, and the when I finally started to execute what I put to paper, I start to see the success that I wanted in my life. I had courage to go cast a celebrity in a film. Like it gave me, it unleashed the veil. It worked. When I applied what I read, it worked. And so I condensed it down. This is a book for people who don't like reading books. There is one
Okay.
question per page. The questions jump straight to your subconscious. These questions are important. They're simple, some are more complex, but they're honest questions. I call it a 30-day mind rehab. You answer one of the questions each day. It's actually a journal. When you open the book, it's one question and then a bunch of lines. You have to write. I put you to work with this book, and you're gonna love it. Anybody you give it to, they're gonna love it. If you know someone who has 1,000 goals in the scatterbrain, they're gonna love it. People who haven't even begun to start a goal, they're gonna love it. People that are knee deep in the middle of accomplishing something, they're gonna love it. It helps outline. Sorry, I keep getting a call here, but it helps outline.
Hope we didn't lose him. I'm not sure what's going on with my brother. We might just have to wait for him to come back on. But right now, please check out his book. He was definitely expressing on his book right now, Money, Your Mind Owes You. That's the name of his book. Check out some of his films, Baby in the Hood. That's one of his films right now, featuring a lot of special people that I know, including, like I said, Ill Speak, my brother, including War Skills, including him, he said his brother's in it, Brickhead's in it, a lot of different people are in it. And the reason why I had this young brother on my show is because he represents a certain class of excellence. And what I mean by that is how he prepares himself, how he executes himself, and how he tries to share his message with other people. You know what I'm saying? Because like right now, the enemy is not going to stop us from what we're doing, man. Because guess what? I just told you we destined for greatness, man. Like anything obstacle in front of us, we will overachieve right now. He's going to come back on here, and we're going to keep this show going. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when. I'm going to kick him from the stove. I'm going to bring him right back. But we're going to keep this show going. Today is all about motivation. It's holiday season. Happy holidays, everybody. For one, thank you for tuning in for Destined for Greatness podcast. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. I lost my guest, Michael Royale, but we're going to keep it going right now. One thing I want to talk about right now, and here he is. I told you the enemy ain't going to stop us, man. We're going to make it happen.
I'm sorry, brother.
No, don't even say sorry, man. This needed to happen, man. They needed to show how we persevering right now. Ain't nothing going to stop us. Back to it like we never left.
Yeah, now let me continue to tell you now. Yeah, I'll tell you. Now, these questions, they land straight on your subconscious. Just a few of them is, what do you want? That's how simple a question is. What do you want? List 5 things that you want. What it's going to start doing is separating your habits from your free time, from what you really want, what's priority, and what is luxury for you. Once you spread all those things out, I don't think most people know what they really want until they do the exercise, because you're going to find secrets about yourself that you didn't know. Some things you do in autopilot. They're called habits. You do them subconsciously without knowing them. But this book helps you keep track of everything you thought you knew about you and be honest with yourself. And once you get to the end of it, it's going to play you back in through all your answers to all the questions, and you'll be able to clearly shoot that arrow and knock your goal down. And when I did it, I wouldn't have made it if I didn't do it and it didn't work for me. It worked. And the reason why I did it, because I come from a crazy inner city situation before we moved to Lansing. And there was no structured guidance in my home that told me how to even stay focused, have an attention span, set goals that I want to knock down, dream. None of it was there. None of the structure of how to actually be independent and trust my thoughts, as opposed to the robotic system that I was structured under when I went to public school. No one was there. So I wrote the book for young people to have that opportunity to get ahead, to get right in front of what they're going to face when they become adults, to get on top of what they feel like is the burning desire that they want to do. You discover when you're 8, 9, and 10. But if you didn't do your journal and put your journal down, when you go back and look at it 10 years from now, you're going to be right on pace on what you were supposed to do. We want the access. We just have to ask our minds for the access. You have to ask your mind the right question. It'll give you an answer. You're just not asking the right questions. Buy the book.
I have a question for you right now. Oh, okay. For one, so what made you decide to even write a book? Because right now you're doing a lot with film. In the middle of film, what made you say, you know what, I'm going to change gears mentally and focus on being an author?
Because every single person could see what I was feeling. They could see the light. They could see that I was just knocking down goals, that I was finally doing what I told everybody I was going to do. that what I'm good at. I finally got to the goal. They didn't know all the struggle and all the weird stuff that happened in between me finally getting a piece out that looked like that. But when they saw that everyone was doing things with me, that I was moving in a direction that they could see some type of mystery success, that they the fantasy that they think about the big houses and cars. Once they seen these things, they asked me questions. How'd you do it? How you doing it? How's it happening? What are you doing? And it's just thousands of questions on. I want to do it like I want to do it. I don't necessarily want to do film, but I want to be successful with the thing that I want to do. How'd you do it? How'd you stay focused? So it just kept coming at me and coming at me. I was like, you know what? Let me put it in something universal, tangible, that people can take. And so when you have that energy towards what I'm doing, when your energy reacts to my energy, you can take this book and you can put some answers to what you're thinking of. And so that's where the book came from. And then I realized that if I'd have known this 10 and 15 years ago, I'd have been a director 10 and 15 years ago. I'd have been putting together my work at 19 and 20. And if I knew the way to approach it. And so I was like, let me get this out here so these young people can get into the race faster. So they don't have to be in their mid-30s before they put together the life bumps and the way things work and find out how to navigate in the angle that they want to navigate in. This just gives you a leap in front. It's not what they're asking you in school. Not one teacher in one class in one course is going to ask you not one of these questions. They're not. They're just not. And so when you get into the real world, you have to start asking yourself damn questions. And you start asking yourself, and you start bumping your head left and right, and then you might get with someone that bumps your head even further or builds you up even higher. But if you don't have your goal locked in, it's like navigating this ship without a course. You're not going to get to your destination. You're not going to hit that destination. You might just drift and land somewhere. That's what's going to happen to you. So I didn't want people who I knew had the right mindset to get things done to not have the keys to get it done. But I just wanted to answer everybody at once and answer the question of what motivated me, why, what pushes me to do what I'm doing. Get the book, check it out, read it, work it. Once you actually start to do it and work with it, it's 1 page a day. Don't it's easy to just skim through it all and try to do it all in a couple of days, but that the rehab is in repetition. There's a question saying, tell 10 people your goal. You're just telling people, you don't know the power of someone else talking about you in a positive way when you're not in that room. The power of someone else talking about you positively, you can use that energy to accomplish your goal. It's fuel. The more people you have talking positively about you and your goals, the more powerful you become in knocking down your goals. So now you're surprised, like, oh my God, it's working. Oh my God, I'm actually making movies. And it's not a surprise. So many people are rooting for you and actually sitting at their dinner table saying, Michael Roy, he did that. Michael Roy did this, and he's doing that. He's doing it. You want to get that going for yourself on your goal. You want to get these people going, and they will get to going for you. You just have to ask the right question. If you didn't know to do that, you need to do it. And so that's what the book is here for. Like I started off saying, thoughts are things, the most simplest cliches ever. Everybody knows it. Those who apply it, believe in it. Those who don't are just running around here like that. That's not real. But it's so simple. And as soon as you start to do it, you start to achieve. It just goes hand in hand. And that's how I was able to do the things I'm doing. That's how I was able to get the celebrities in the film. That's how I'm able to get the whole entire city to show up on a day to do something for me out of love. That's the key. That's the power I'm working with. So if you get the book and you want to get something done, but you got some selfish energy going on, and you got to get that selfish energy blocked up off you, start to work with people, and they'll start working with you. I use one of my techniques is I know that in my career field, people are selfish and they want to just see themselves do things. So it made it easier for me to do what I do, casting and making films, because everybody just wants to see themselves on something and it's posted on Facebook. So it just flowed easier. For other career fields, it might be a little tougher. You might have to prove yourself a little bit better. And to be honest, some of the people I work with now in Lansing, when I was first starting off, didn't want to come on my camera because I was just getting off the ground. It was looking choppy and crazy. And now that they watched the progress, they came and was like, you know what, I'm down. I'll do whatever you need me to do. And so young young filmmakers that are getting out started, don't be discouraged if you can't get the people you want at the time. Work with what you can work with, prove yourself, trust yourself. The first round is going to be crap unless you are like unbelievable, but it just, you got to be ready for the crap so that you can build that cadence, so you can watch it back and watch where you feel like it. You got to be honest with yourself. That's what it's all about, is just being honest with you. That's what filmmaking is about, just being honest with what looks good and what doesn't, and start pulling away what doesn't look good and keeping what looks good. And that's what people end up seeing. It's just like chiseling a statue. You just chip away the pieces that you don't want, and then you reveal the artwork. And so whoever's better at doing that makes better movies. And that's why it takes them longer to make the film. Sometimes they have to run it through more people. Sometimes, right now we're working with a smaller budget, but with passionate people in the whole entire city. So we cannot be matched. And everyone who is on the team
Everybody's
is on the team.
passion. You can't stop passion, for one. Everybody's passionate and everybody wants to take it to the next level. So right now, question, how can people get a hold to your book? Where's your book located? Is it out yet? And if it's not,
it's out.
what platforms?
It's out right now on Amazon Prime. Just type in the title of the book, Access the Money Your Mind Owes You. It's on Amazon Prime. It's a hardback, and I also put it up as a Kindle, but the Kindle really isn't an interactive situation, so you're really going to need to just order the hardback. It's one of the best presents you can ever give a little nephew, a little niece. It's the best present you can ever give yourself. You have multiple books, and that's why I priced it so low, because this is the type of gift you want to give to those who you see are very ambitious, that are just not really sticking to one thing and really doing it. And you know that family member or that friend is just explosive, whatever they do, but they're just not really shining it out and actually turning it tangible. This is what you give them. If you are that person and you're like, wow, I'm talented in multiple areas, and I just can't seem to get anything to tangibly pay me substantially enough to be independent, this is the book you want to take. You need to take this time to rehab your mind. And even though you might think that I got the success thing down pat, I'm doing well, I'm financially situated, there are limits to you that you're putting on yourself. You're not seeing how far you could go. When you start writing this book, you start putting these questions out your conscience, you can say, well, wow, damn, I do want to go over to this level in this financial bracket. I didn't really know it until I started to write it down. Then when I looked at what I wrote down, I realized now that I need to be here instead of where I'm at now. So it's for everybody. Get it on Amazon. It's going to be there. It's going to be in a few other places. Once we get up to a couple other bookstores, just have to pass some different formatting QC control checks before that. It's going to be up in a couple other places. But Amazon Prime for now. Check it out. Support the book. And if you wanted to do something like if you have a class or a school or something like that, and you want to do it for the young kids, and you want to do more than 30 or 40 of them, we'll donate them for free. So if you need to do something like that,
say that one more time.
If you have like a group, or a youth center, or an outreach program, or a young class, if you are a teacher at any type of school, if you feel like the goal setting is not a focus in your group, and it's the most important aspect of being an adult, get them this book. Get your group this book. I'll get it to them for free. But it has to be at least 30 or more. If it's 30 or more that you need, I'll get them to you wherever you're at. We'll get them to you, because the most important thing for me is to make sure that these kids have an opportunity to actually lay it out in their minds, and not to be confused, to ask the right questions. It's critical. This is the difference between successful people and people who just keep floating around, bubbling around. You got to get off the bubbling around. It's more imperative than any time now with what we're dealing with society, and the fact that you need to start making more money online as opposed to physical jobs. You need to get focused, and this is going to get you focused, because right now it's crazy, and if you let all these distractions come at you from 1,000 different places, then you're not even going to know what's going on with you, why you're not putting the energy towards what you want to do. This is going to unstop that. So again, order it on Amazon. If you're in a group and you want to get 30 or more, we actually donate the books at that point. So you get them for free. So just make sure you hit us up.
I will talk to you backstage about that, because I have some people, man, for sure, that are teachers, man. I come from a background of educators, man. I'm talking about my brother's a principal. You know what I'm saying? My wife's a teacher. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I know I have access to a lot of people, man. So I'm going to keep that in mind. That's why I said study it again, because I'm going to get the book. I'm going to read it, man. Can't wait. I am so glad. I am so appreciative that you chose to be on this platform. At this time, man, I want you to share whatever you would like to share before we get up off of this thing, man. Whatever you want to say, whatever information you want to get out. Right now, while we have everybody's attention right now, Mr. Michael H. Royale, man. I want the whole Royal family to stand up, man. This young man is doing it for the family. Y'all breaking all traditional curses. All family curses is broken by us, man. We're going to take it to the next level.
Yes, sir.
So I'm so appreciative of having you on this platform. It won't be the last time because you're going to keep on dropping stuff. Think of me first. When you get to the top, man, you better have me your first interviews, bro. You better not forget about
man,
boys,
anytime you reach out, brother, you know you got it. Now, I just want to start off by saying, again, I appreciate you, Devin Woods, and I see the work you're doing. I see the consistency in what you're doing. Stay consistent, stay focused. I know you got a vision and a goal on top of what you're doing, and you're going to hit that target, definitely. I'm glad I could support that. I want to just jump off by letting you know that, again, our second film is called The Thought of Murder. It will be releasing in February. Make sure y'all check that out on all platforms. I'm actually coming back in town in January to start on our first series. It's called He Sold Her. And it's a deep drama. It's a deep drama about separate parents. One of the parents end up selling off the child for nefarious reasons. I don't want to give away too much, but it's a very deep, hard-hitted piece for the Black community. And it's a 6-episode miniseries. And we start production in February, but we start casting in January. If you're interested, jump on my Facebook, let me know. And I actually work with everybody that hits me up. We need you in various different areas, even if it's just being on set extra, showing support, making sure our scenes look active and thick. So definitely, I want y'all to look out for that. That's what's coming up. And also, we just launched at the end of this year and starting the next year our distribution company. It's called Royal House Distributions. We actually distribute films for independent filmmakers now. Something that was done for me, and we changed and are now giving the courtesy to filmmakers to try to get them into the distribution side of the work. We know that there's a curve of every young person who's ever made a music video eventually is going to get around to making an independent film with their friends in their community. It's just a natural progression for all those young people, and the accessibility and the ability to do it is there now. So there's going to be a wave of young filmmakers coming out, and we just want to position ourselves well so that we can help get them to the next level and help them, get through some of the things that we went through to get to the next level. So I just, again, thank you for allowing me to introduce what we're going to be doing in the future as well. The book helped motivate me to do absolutely everything at once. And so I try to attack each day like that. And I'm responsible with my time, though. Don't put too much on your plate. I am responsible. I do own up to anything I can do. I do. If I can't, I will let you know. As you get older, you kind of got to get into that. When you're younger, you promise, you can overpromise, and then you don't know what other people are setting on their end, and then you end up burning bridges. So I learned that lesson as I get older. Don't promise things you can't do. And so right now I'm in a position where I can take on a lot. And so I do a lot right now, and hopefully we can get a lot of work done. So it's 3 months. I'll be in Lansing consecutively from January, February, March, and April. And hopefully we will get the show done in that time. If not, I'll come back. But I finally rearranged some things where I can stay a little longer. Usually I'll come in for a week and do the project and then come back and pick up. But now I can stay a little longer, and we could really do what I really want to do. I want to take the time to do it the right way. So again, I appreciate you, and I definitely want to come back when we got that trailer ready for you.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Once again, man, everybody go follow him right now on Facebook. Follow him on his IG, man. Michael H. Royale, man. Been an honor to have you on his platform, man. You destined for be great, man. Holla at you. Thank y'all for tuning in, man.
Thank you.
Been an awesome show, man.
Yeah. All right, brother. Thank you. Have a good one.